Yo, what's happening, people? Back again. Gav goes in. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. You know, obviously helps with the algorithms, helps reach out more people. And obviously, again, guys, subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok as well. Got a new person on today, man, like Elite Baller. What you say, Elite Baller? You all good?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I enjoy your channel a lot, so it's a pleasure to meet you, mate. And yeah, we can do some good chat about football, mate.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys. What I want to talk about, man. Obviously, been speaking about it quite recently. Obviously, Man United transfer news. You know, looking to kind of get some deals done before the window ends on Monday. I know, obviously, Patrick Dorgu's coming. You know, I'm very happy with that signing. And but I want to speak about a certain MATHYS TEL. You know, obviously there was news yesterday that Tottenham agreed a fee with him, and he's actually turned it down, man. But Elite Baller, what I want to ask you actually with MATHYS TEL, do you know much about MATHYS TEL? Like, what do you think of him?
I think basically he fits what we need right now. We need someone who wants to prove a point.
Yeah,
he's got pace, he's got power, he's got a good shot on him from what I've seen. And I just think if Rashford does go, which looks like he's going to Villa now, I think he's the perfect guy to come in and make up for that gap. So to be honest with you, so far this window, I've been very surprised because I only thought we'd get Dorgu and Heaven, and I didn't actually think we'd get anyone else. So if we can get rid of Rashford and we can get Intel, then I think that's a really good window, mate.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of that, in terms of MATHYS TEL, like for what he offers, I mean, he's not like, I mean, obviously the system that Amorim plays is, he's not like a natural suitability for that role, you know, for me. But I think in terms of the quality that he has on the ball, you know, the pace he has as well, and I think this Man United front line, especially if Rashford's not playing or if he's going to move on, is lacking a bit of pace in the top end of the pitch, like some actual real pace. And I think he brings that a lot. He wasn't someone that I was necessarily thinking was attainable, you know, because again, I actually like real number 10s, but someone like him, if he's available and at the age he is of just 19, he's an upgrade on anything we have in that position, in my opinion. So yeah, I was happy with the links. But yeah, I think Rashford moving on, yeah, it's obvious, you know, he needs to move on along with for me Garnacho as well. But Rashford at the moment looks like the most likely one. But yeah, I think MATHYS TEL coming in. Obviously there are other suitors after him as well, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, man, I'm happy with the links. So yeah, I'll make you right, man.
So do you? I mean, I personally think it's going to happen because obviously he turned down Spurs, right? Now, really, I think he really likes Bayern, right? And he wants to prove himself there. That's what he said in the past. So it makes sense to be just a loan because he can always go back. But then if he does actually like being at United, then maybe we can buy him. But I just think it's an intelligent move all round. So yeah, if it happens, I'll be quite happy with it, mate. And like you said, he's not an out and out striker. I don't know. It's not like we really service our strikers that much anyway, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand, man. I think in terms of that, it's more of a system thing, you know. I think this system that Amorim plays will create more chances for the striker, but I think it's the personnel in them areas, you know. And again, with MATHYS TEL, he can play as a striker, he can play as a left winger, but I think in this system, as a left 10 and as a striker, I think of course is where I think you're definitely going to see him. And they'll say again, there is reports that he does want to come. Whether Man United can get that over the line in time, I'm not sure. But I think if Rashford does go, which again it looks likely, then they have to bring in TEL for me without doubt.
If you think about it, right? If maybe, I don't know, let's say a week ago, everyone was not everyone, but a lot of people were panicking. Ineos aren't doing anything, blah 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 blah. now it looks like we've got Dorgo in, we've got Heaven
Yeah.
in. We got rid of Anthony, and they're paying 80% of his wages, which is massive. It looks like Malacia is going. It looks like Rashford's going, and we could get Tel. That is a lot of activity. A lot of activity, mate.
I agree. But the thing is though, I mean, because I read something today actually with even the Aiden Heaven that they signed. So Jason Wilcox is saying that he's going to be part of the first team squad, which again surprised me because I thought he was going to go straight into the 23s. But I think Wilcox is more or less saying he's definitely going to be part of the squad. But in terms of the incomings, I mean, Dorgu's the only one really for me that is literally going to go straight into the lineup. You would think. So I mean, for you, who would you say, providing those other players do go out, who are you looking at to come into the team?
Well, like you said, Dorgu is obviously going to take up that left-hand side because we've been playing Delo there, who has been pretty abysmal. Apart from the fact that he scored, but that's what you should be doing, like, more often than not. You should be getting into the box on the end of cross like he did. That's what you should be doing. But apart from that, he's been pretty poor on the left. So I think he'll start Dorgu. And what it means now is that you've got a situation where Delo and Mazraoui can compete for the right back. And also Mazraoui can play right centre back. So I just think now the squad looks a lot more deep, and there's like probably 2 players for each position, more or less. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think with Mazraoui, to be fair, for me he's better as a defender, right-sided defender. I don't really want to see Mazraoui too tough in the right wing back, if I'm honest. So I think when he plays, as good as he is, he kind of makes the team a bit more defensive, you know, and especially if you've got Dalot on the other side. Again, the stats show that those two playing, United not really creating anything, you know, and so again, there was links to Quenda yesterday, and again, I'm a massive fan of Quenda from what I've seen of him, and Amorim wants to bring him in the summer, so I think that's someone that, you know, we can kind of look forward to seeing him becoming a Manchester United player. But I think for the moment, because I would like to see another wing back come in, if I'm honest, because I don't want to see Dalot, you know, even if Dorgu is not playing or injured, Dalot playing on the left-hand side. And I don't really want to see either one of him or Mazraoui as the right wing back. You know, I think United need to be getting actual wingers in that position. To kind of create more chances as well, you know, and create more of a threat. So I think starting with 2 fullbacks at wing back, you know, you're kind of setting yourself up to be more of a defensive team. So, but yeah, no, I'm happy with the Dorgu signing for sure, man. But for me, I do want United to be more active. But with 3 days left, I don't really know what's going to happen, to be honest. You know, so yeah, I can just.
Going back to what you said about Quende, this is what I was saying to people who were getting like on Ineos back for not signing people. It became apparent that Amorim made a promise to Sporting to not take any of their players in January. So I was like, be patient, because in the summer he is going to get someone from Sporting. So if we get him, and is he 17? Is that right?
He's 17, yeah, Quendo.
Yeah, and he plays like, I don't know, mid-20s. With the way he plays, he's so brave, he's confident, skillful, fast, powerful. He's just the perfect right back for us. Plus, he's left-footed, so maybe he can come in on the inside and shoot or cross. So Dorgu and him on each side just makes us a totally different teammate.
Yeah, more of an attacking threat.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think yeah, again with Quenda, man, I think he definitely comes in, especially from the reports yesterday, and yeah, having him one side and Dorgu, I think that is going to create as well, because there's as what I done like a little bet builder a couple of weeks ago, and it was interesting to see what I done with my lineup. So again, another player that I wanted was Nuno Mendes, you know, and if Man United can still get Nuno Mendes, that'll be great, because I had Nuno Mendes playing at left side centre back, and I'll tell you why, because I do think he can play there, but with Man United's defenders, you need players, especially if you're playing left side centre back, right side centre back. You need players that are quick in the wide areas. And for me, Nuno Mendes playing as a left side centre back, and of course he can cover for left wing back as well. I think that'll be an ideal signing, because on that left hand side there, you need players that can more or less dominate the pitch, dominate that side of the pitch. So my other signing was Alphonso Davies, but obviously because Dorgu's here now, that's not going to happen. But Man United need players on that left hand side of the pitch that can dominate the flank, which will allow, if you've got a left 10, to kind of create and get in between the lines, you know. So that was my choice. It was Nuno Mendes and Alphonso Davies. I think getting Dorgu in, Dorgu's more or less the Alphonso Davies replacement in a sense. But I think United need to try and get Nuno Mendes, and especially if he can play as a left side centre back and as a wing back as well. I think that'd be ideal.
You
know?
I just thought that obviously he's got connections to Amorim because they played together, but to me, that's the kind of signing that happens in the summer rather than January, because
I agree.
PSG don't make it easy to buy their players, mate. Look how long it took to get Agate. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't sure that we'd be able to get him in January. We may still get him in the summer. You never know. I think, you know, you've been a United fan for a long time like me, and buying players in January is not the norm for Man United. It does happen now and then, but it's not normal. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens in summer, but I expect to get 4 or 5 players in, and like big names as well.
No, I agree, man, because again, there'll be a lot of players out of contract as well, so that will free up some money. But I think this January, you know, it's an opportunity for United to remove big earners, you know. I mean, I like Casemiro, but obviously it's quite clear the manager and Casemiro are not really going to see eye to eye in playing, you know. And I think the manager came out the other day saying, you know, he respects Casemiro, but he doesn't really suit his system, which is fair enough. But it's obviously been quiet about getting him out in terms of the Saudi clubs as well. But I think, for sure, Man United for me in this window have to at least get, for me, I would say 3 players minimum, you know. And at the moment they've only got 1, and you know, I mean, it's touch and go to see if they get another one in, really. So I think it'd be a bit disappointing if they only come out with 2 players, you know. Even though it's something, but I expected Man United to at least be active in the window, you know. Even if it's loan deals as well. I think Douglas Luiz would be a good loan deal in midfield. You know, obviously there's been talk about Tyler Dibbling, who's a top player as well. But me personally now, I think if United go and get Quenda in the summer, I don't see them going for Dibbling, because if you've got Ahmad and Quenda, you know, I mean, I'll still go for Dibbling, but I'm just trying to see how that's going to work with having those 3 players, you know, even though I think it will be a good idea, but I don't know if Man United have the money or have the foresight to think having those 3 players all on the same side of the pitch. So,
I mean, again, with Tyler Dibbling, you know, they already said that he is worth X amount of money, and they wouldn't sell him for anything less. If you want him, you got to wait until they get relegated, really. But I don't know. I mean, he's a good player, but I don't know. It depends if people want to come here to be like in the squad, or they want to play every single game as well. That makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
No, I agree, man. I think a player of that quality, though, I think he will be snapped up by one of the big teams. That's for sure. So I think United need to be in the race for him. And also, Jason Wilcox used to be at Southampton, so he'll know firsthand what a good player Dibbling is. But I'm just thinking, if Ahmad's already there, you know, you're gonna get Quenda in, and you'd definitely, you'd say that Quenda's gonna play as the right wing back, which frees up Ahmad to play on the right 10. And if you get Tyler Dibbling, obviously Dibbling will play as a right 10, but you know what I mean, you've kind of got 3 players in 2 there, you know what I mean? So I will still try and get Dibbling, but I'm just thinking now. I've heard that Quenda more or less looks like he's going to be coming in the summer. Does that mean the Dibbling thing won't happen? You never know, but yeah, I just think that for sure, man, getting in MATHYS TEL, just going back to him in this window is crucial, because I didn't really see this one coming. But in terms of left tens in the game now, yeah, it's going to be quite hard to get someone definitely in January, someone that you actually really want. But yeah, I have to wait and see, man. But yeah, big up Nick Fadley, big up Nick for coming on again. But what I wanted to ask you as well, you know, what have you made of Amorim so far since he's been here? Like, do you like what you see?
So I'll divide it into two. So first of all, I'll tell you what I think of him, like when we're not playing, like how he speaks, press conferences, all that. I think he's intelligent. I think he knows what to say at the right time. He's got good standards. Yeah, he wants really high standards at Man United. He understands that if we ever are going to win the league, our standards need to be massive, which is obviously why he's fallen out with Rashford.
Yeah.
So that's one part of it. On the pitch, I'd say it's a mixed bag. There were occasions where I'm like, why has he chosen this team? Why has he done that? Why has he done that? And it didn't really make sense to me. We've looked better when Rude was here, and we played with two holding midfielders in Casemiro and Ugarte, because then that makes us more solid. But then it allows the attacking midfielder, whether it was Bruno, Ericsson, Mainu, more license to actually attack. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I don't particularly like that he does. But I think once we get two fast wing backs, all the problems will sort of be alleviated, because those wing backs are probably the most important players on the whole pitch, because they're gonna provide attacking, they're gonna defend, they're gonna have loads of stamina. And yeah, I think once we get those two in place, we'll see a different team. But at the moment, it's a struggle. But you got to have patience. And like, I don't know if you've seen, there's a guy who was on Mandem Talk. He was having an argument with Ranchach. He's called Devil in the Details, Danny, and he's actually Amorim out already, which I just find crazy, because he's literally only been here like 2 months or so, mate.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I think again, I think because Man United have been struggling for so long. Again, I think people want like instant fixes. You know, obviously for me, I do like Amorim as a coach. I do think he's good. I mean, the only criticism I have of Amorim really is his again is his profile of players and the team selection. You know, I do think that the fact that he was consistently picking Rasmus Højlund, which we'll get onto in a minute. The fact that, you know, he has been playing Kobe in this system as an 8, which Kobe's not. These are the kind of things that I have been a bit pissed off with, really. But I think with him, again, he has instilled some sort of standards, and the standards dropped massively at Man United. And he's come in, and again, the way that he dropped Rashford and Garnacho from the squad against Man City, the way that he's just not including Rashford in at all, you know, he's showing a certain standard, which again is commendable. But to say that he needs to be gone, again, I think it's just reactionary. You know what I mean? But there are things that he does need to improve for sure. But to say all that, I think is a bit over the top, if I'm honest. You know, yeah, Chris Woodman hat-trick today, isn't he? Yeah, he's on fire, man. He is. But yeah, yeah, I think Amorim, he does need to he does need some help. Again, he's got his first signing in, but I'm more interested to see what he's going to do going forwards in terms of his team selection, in terms of his signings. I think the fact that Kobe, you know, thrived in the 10, he's now giving the manager like food for thought, really. But the problem is you've got players really that in his eyes that he wants to play. So It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to try and fit them in. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I wanted to ask you because you probably know my views on it already, but I'm not really heard yours. But what's your take on Rasmus Højlund?
Obviously, I understand everyone's criticism of him when it comes to holding the ball up because he's not very good at it at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, he does have age on his side. He can get better at that, but for how tall he is, he should be a bit stronger. I think if you just look at him as an out-and-out striker, if he were to get good service, which he isn't, let's be honest, he would bang goals. But it's just whether or not you want a player like that who is only going to score goals and can't sort of bring others into play, innit? That's the problem. So I wouldn't necessarily say get rid of him, but the ideal thing would have been to sort of get Harry Kane last summer, and Højlund just plays bits and pieces here and there. He should never ever have been the main striker ever. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I think the Harry Kane one, obviously that was an obvious one. But obviously that boat sailed now. And again, whether Harry Kane would have Harry Kane obviously is guaranteed goals, but in this Man United team, I'm not too sure if that would have happened necessarily. And obviously Kane's legs as well. He hasn't really got the legs to basically be a threat in behind as well. Whereas I think the likes of Højlund, Højlund was known for his pace, but you very rarely see it. For me, with Højlund, I think he's the worst striker in the league, and I'll tell you why. Because I think too many people are fixated with, and the thing is as well, I do hear what you mean about he doesn't really get many chances, but again, Anthony Martial, when he was here, wasn't getting any chances amongst others. But I think the problem, what people seem to be focused on, is that, and you hear a lot of people say, a striker's job is to just score goals. And again, that's not true, because if you're looking at in the era of Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, these kind of strikers back then, you'd probably say, you know what, they're not really doing as much in the build up. So, but their job more or less might be, scoring goals like Fox in the box, you would say. Yeah. But the problem is football has changed so much, which is why if you look at the strikers in world football, strikers from the age of 30 above that are, you would say, world class, or or coming to the end, you would say, are Harry Kane and Robert Lewandowski that are playing in Europe. Now, if you look at the next batch of strikers you've got the likes of Erling Haaland, Alexander Isak. There's talk about Gyökeres as well. And then we're struggling. You know what I mean? So, and the reason is as well is that with someone like Rasmus Højlund, I wouldn't be too fussed if he wasn't scoring as many goals, but his link play, was good. He was consistent in terms of his touch, in terms of his decision making, his movement. You wouldn't have no kind of argument from me, because we all know that Man United are not creating too many chances. But I can't actually think what he actually does well, because he's not intelligent. He hasn't got a good touch. He's not particularly strong for someone of his build. He's got pace, but you very rarely see it. His game understanding is poor. His link play and his hold up play is non-existent. I think the only positive that I can see to him is that he's left-footed, because left-footed strikers do bring something different. But he don't offer nothing for me. And again, it wasn't his fault that the price tag was 72 million. So for me, I mean, it's going to be hard to move him on in the summer, because again, immortalization and that, he was only bought about 18 months ago, and no one's going to come in and pay 50, 60 million for him. That's not going to happen. So how you get rid of someone like him is going to be like a loan deal with an obligation to buy. And and or hopefully he goes on loan and he does decent, and then his value increases. But for me, going forward, Man United need to move on from him and need better quality up there, you know, because he's been given the number 9 shirt, and he's showing for that is 2 league goals, you know, and again 2 league goals in he's got, I think he's not scored in 36 games, 36 league games, obviously too short of a full Premier League season. So for me, it's you know, I can understand the chance creation, but that don't wash for me in terms of what he's actually offering the team in general, to be fair, you know.
No, well, this is, like I said, the worst thing for me is that when you need out, say you're defending and you need it out, you need to have a striker that you can, even if it's a long ball at striker, he holds it up, waits for people to come and support him, and then lays it off. But he can't do that. So it almost reminds me, you know, when Bruno has one of those shit games where he gives the ball away constantly, and it just makes a whole team like so vulnerable. That's what it's like to me. And we need to be better in possession. That is one thing that I would say about Amorim. He probably shocked at how bad we were able to keep the ball when he first came here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there was reports saying about Amorim. You know, he was shocked at the quality really of the squad. But again, we've been watching Man United for so long. Obviously, we've been aware of this, but yeah, no, I just think that I'm not Hoyland's biggest fan, man, and I like there's not really, you know, obviously you'll give players a chance, but I've seen too many good footballers to know that this guy just hasn't got it, you know. And again, his price tag ain't his fault. It's the fault of whoever wanted to splash that money on someone that was relatively unproven, you know. And that's the problem. I was reading Nick Fadley's. So a striker's first job is to score goals, especially if you are a poacher, but it's a bonus if you have additional attributes, especially playing style. These days demand you to be more versatile. Nick, what I would say, again, as I was saying to Elite Baller, if you're looking at, you know, probably about 10, 20 years ago, you know, a striker's job probably was to score goals. But this era now, it's not just about that, because again, the way the systems and formations are in football, your striker more or less now is kind of like the goals are coming out from wide, I would say. You know, that's why they have wide forwards, you know, and your central striker is more of the facilitator, more of the link man, you know. And this is why someone like Joshua Zirkzee for me is a top player, because Joshua Zirkzee is a link man, you know, and people are too fixated on, you know, oh, he's not scoring enough goals, but he won't score you 30, 40 goals. But what he will do is that he'll make the team play better, and the goals will be shared around. Whereas Rasmus Højlund, for instance, you would look at him and think, you know, he hasn't got no link play. But if he is scoring goals, then you'd be like, okay, fair enough. He hasn't got the link play, but he is getting goals. He's not doing neither. So my thing is, what is his use in the team? And there ain't. So I understand you're saying about additional attributes, but again, he hasn't got any, because he's meant to be quick, and you very rarely see it. Maybe that's a game intelligence thing. You know, he's meant to be quite strong for his build, and again, he spends half his time on the floor. So yeah, it's for me, it's easy. He just ain't good enough, you know, and he isn't the only one. But again, if you're the central striker, man, you're meant to be the focal point, and if attacks are always breaking down, you know what I mean, there's obviously problems there. So yeah. Let's see what you said there. So question for you, Elite Baller. So Man United certainly haven't lost in Europa yet, but might get strong challenge from Napoli for the title. What do you think on that?
He meant Lazio. Yeah, I personally think this is our cup, mate. You got to take it massively serious because it can get us into Champions League. I doubt very much we're going to get to top 4. So, and imagine the buzz that you'll get from your manager winning the Europa League in his first season. That's invaluable. So yeah, I think we've got to go all out to win this. We've got to, and I think we can. Like I said in your last chat, people were saying wait until Champions League team drop into it. It's not happening this year. So what you get. So our biggest rivals to this are Lazio, which we should beat, Galatasaray, which we should beat, Spurs and Roma. We can beat all of those teams. So there's no excuse. So I think we're the favourites, and I think we should win it, definitely.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think, I mean, even United not playing too well at the moment, they should win this competition, and I would say fairly comfortably as well. I think if Amorim can play the right team, the players got confidence. I shouldn't see no reason why United don't win this, and obviously it's the route into the Champions League, and I think he's going to put all of his eggs in one basket in a sense in this Europa League. Obviously helps to attract obviously the better players as well. Even though I do think United do have a pool, but it's gonna help even further. But I think personally the biggest challenge to United in this Europa, I'm probably gonna say, do you know what? I think it possibly could be Tottenham.
Yeah, of course.
As mad as that sounds.
Yeah.
I think as mad as it sounds, I think it could be Tottenham, and I'm saying that because I think the other teams, because of the pace and power in the Premier League, I think that might overpower some of these weaker teams in there, and I don't think the likes of Galatasaray, Lazio will cause much problem. I don't think they have enough quality to do that, even as poor as his United team is. Whereas Tottenham obviously are used to playing United, obviously in the Premier League. And I think Ange might, he might be the only team for me that might give them issue.
They've got a lot of motivation to win it as well, mate, because obviously they haven't won a cup for a long time. They're not going to get in top 4 just like us. They're even lower than us. So yeah, the motivation for them to win it is just as much as for us. So I agree that they're the biggest obstacle in the way. But again, we got to get revenge for what they did to us at Old Trafford. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, man, I think that's why I'm saying January is crucial because if they bring in a couple more players, then I would go as far as saying that's a shoo-in for them to win that tournament. But at the moment, I'm not sure because watching both games against Rangers and even that Steaua Bucharest, I know Steaua Bucharest were poor, but even they could have made it 1-1 with that strike that striker had. And I reckon if that goal goes in, they might even hold on for a 1-1. And the same with Rangers, really. Rangers, if Rangers had more quality in attack, they could have even nicked a result there as well. So it's concerning, but United should be looking to win that with no problem there, really, and use the Premier League season as trying to get players minutes, if anything, getting them game time, because this league's been a bit of a shambles for United this season. Even the game tomorrow against Palace, they can even drop below Palace if Palace win the game. So, but I think they should win that, man. But they need to try and get some signings over the line for sure.
I think we'll get Tel. He rejected Spurs. He doesn't want to go to Chelsea because they got so many players there already. Arsenal, they've been mentioning Arsenal, but it isn't anything that strong. We've been linked with him since really the day after that he said he wanted to leave Bayern. And the fact that if Rashford goes, it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? To bring Tel in. So I think we're favourites to get him. And I think him added to Dorgu and Heaven, it makes it even more likely that we're going to win the Europa. Because I think even though he plays in Champions League, he can still play in Europa League. Is that correct? I think it is.
I think he can. Yeah, I think he can. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is with Tel, as I said, it was a bit of a surprise interest because I didn't really see that one coming. And again, these are the kind of things I like seeing. You know, when there's no links and all of a sudden they just sign someone. But I think right now, I think there's been reports. Obviously, he wants to go to United, so Man United have to be obviously in the driving seat. But I think United more importantly want to do a loan, and I think they should do a loan with an obligation to buy. So
Yeah.
Tottenham have already made everyone aware of how much it's going to cost to get Tel. So yeah, for me, if United can do a loan with an obligation to buy for slightly lower than 50 mil, I think they've got a good player there. And I think he's not someone that I ideally wanted in that left 10 because I think you need creators there. But I think the age and the pace that he's going to offer on that side of the pitch, and he can play as a striker as well. I think it's a no-brainer, really, you know. And again, as you said earlier, to have him as a Rashford replacement is perfect, you know. I'm happy with that.
The difference between Rashford and Tel is that Rashford doesn't really seem motivated to do what he needs to do to get into the team, whereas you know, Tel is probably frustrated at Bayern because obviously Harry Kane came in. He doesn't get, you know, to play all the time, kind of thing. So it just makes sense to me. I think it's there ready for the taking, and I think it'll make a big difference, man. And it will just give the whole club a lift. You know, that's what Brian new players does. It gives the whole team a lift. It brings excitement, and we just need positivity because. I don't know about you. The last sort of couple of months, I've just found most Man United fans to be so pessimistic and negative. It's just done my head in, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think in terms of the negativity, I think again, it's a tough one because fans are just going to be negative in general because if it's something that they don't want to see or don't want, then. You know what I mean? It's just an excuse, really. I mean, even with Ineos, you know, I think Ineos are doing, you know, I think they are doing some good things behind the scenes, you know. Obviously, all the cuts and stuff like that, which a lot of fans are not happy with. But I think, in a sense, they're actually showing a bit of leadership by doing these things because previous owners before them, they weren't looking to do any of these kind of things in a sense. So I think the fact that they're trying to make cuts, it might seem at the moment that, you know, it's a bit harsh, but they're having to basically do the rights of the wrongs that have been done before them.
Of course. So and this is what gets on my nerves. This is what gets on my nerves, mate, because people say, "Oh, Ineos are worse than the Glazers." No, they're not. They're not. The Glazers bought Anthony for 80 mil. The Glazers bought Hoyland for 70 mil. Yeah. etc. Maguire for 70, 80 mil. Yeah. We now are trying to reverse that damage, and we've got Anthony out on loan. They're paying 80% of his wages. We got rid of McTominay. We got rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The players that we're bringing in are not on stupid contracts, and we didn't pay over the odds for them. So they're the total opposite of what the Glazers did. So the people that are saying this, they've got an agenda. Because you know, I look at things with balance, and if something's wrong, I'll say it. If something's right, I'll say it. And what they're doing right now is the way forward for this club. And I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, because the thing is, again, it might not seem like it at the moment, but I do think they are going to get it right. You know, because there's a lot of issues obviously behind the scenes, but they've got to start somewhere. And I think how they've been going on, especially with the players that United have been linked with. United haven't been linked really with any shit players. So whereas before there was just links to a whole host of players that I didn't rate not one bit. But I do think Ineos, you know, they are trying to change things, you know, and even again bringing in the likes of some of these young players like Obi Martin and this Aiden Heaven. You know, these were signings that was never made before.
Exactly.
And I think we have to kind of trust what they're doing, and give them the benefit of the doubt, And if they can get like a MATHYS TEL over the line as well, and move out some of the other players, again, for me that would be a big positive, because this is not an overnight thing. It's going to take a while to get United back to obviously where they should be. But little things like this, even the links with Quenda, if they get Quenda in, again, another positive signing. So I think we have to just bear with it for the time being, and just trusting them, really, and that's what I'm going to do.
And even if you don't think about the player side of thing, right? We had, under the Glazers, we had Murto, Arnold, Woodward, all bunch of idiots, didn't know what they're doing. Now we got Barada, who we poached from Man City, which is incredible. Vivell, who's a great scout, and Jason Wilcox, who is who's been around the block.
In terms of the youth, his knowledge of the youth is mad,
So it's the structure we've got now is 100% better than what we used to have, and they've only had 2 windows. Let's see what happens after 2 years. People judging them already, and what you'll notice, right, is say we win a game, right? The next day or the day after, there'll be some negative news about this cut or that cut, and then people will go back. It's just a constant cycle, and it just gets them.
Yeah, these people will never be happy, man. They're gonna just moan regardless. And again, I think just give Ineos the benefit of the doubt, man. Let them just work their magic, in a sense, I would say, because they're gonna do things to piss fans off. But again, it's not really their issue. These issues were there before them, so you got to kind of just be patient with it, really. And the fact that they've got in Dorgu, which was a left field signing, they're obviously linked with other players. Because for me, I'm more interested in the playing squad, because everything else, again, I'll leave that to the business experts, you know what I mean? But from a playing aspect, I'm looking at what they're doing in terms of removing players and bringing players in. And the Patrick Dorgu signing for me is a signing for the future, and I'm happy with that. Now we have to wait and see what they're going to do with MATHYS TEL and what they're going to do moving forward. And as soon as they not bringing in the right players for me, which again, I can't see this not happening because of who they've got in place now. I'm just going to be content with it and see how it unfolds, really, So I think we need to just be patient, man. That's the key, But just going to read Nick's message. So, what if Spurs finish 18th in the Prem but end up winning Europa League? Will they be playing in the next season? Yeah, they'll be in Champions League, Nick, for sure. For sure, they'll be in the Champions League. So, that Europa League win will overtake anything that happens in the Premier League season. They'll definitely be playing Champions League football. If anyone else disagrees, then just put that in the chat. But they'll be they'll be playing Champions League if they win Europa. But again, we have to make sure that that's United winning that Europa League, and getting them extra funds in. That's the most important thing, But just I was going to ask you actually quickly about what do you reckon is going to happen with Garnacho? Do you think he's going to leave or he's going to stay? You reckon?
In this window, I think he's going to stay. I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think basically it was sort of said the other day that Man United are saying, look, if you want to buy him, you need to do it in these next couple of days, otherwise it's not happening. I personally, I'm not really believing the Chelsea sort of interested in, because they've got so many players anyway. I don't get that. Napoli, I could see that, because obviously Conte is looking at the Premier League to bring players in. That's why he got McTominay. He worked in the Premier League as well. So I do believe that, but it's whether or not is that what Garnacho wants to do. Does he want to go to Italy or does he want to stay in England? I'm similar to Højlund in my attitude with him. I would have him as a squad player, but I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start Højlund. I wouldn't start Garnacho. They should come on as subs when the game has only got 20 minutes left. Defenders are tired. That's what I do. That's what I do, mate. I would never start either of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Do you know what? It's the same with me, really. I think as long as they're in the squad, they're impact subs, as you said. They should be coming on for the last 20 minutes or playing FA Cup games. Serious Premier League games, or if they was in Champions League, these guys are not players to be starting against the elite for me. And again, just like Højlund, I would move Garnacho on because again, Man United need better quality in them areas. And again, Garnacho is full profit as well. So you can move him on and then get better quality there. I'm hearing people say this is not what we do as a club and this nonsense. Like, again, these people are the problem in the fan base because they accept mediocrity, and Garnacho for me symbolizes that. Him and Højlund symbolize that they're just not good enough, and it doesn't matter about if Garnacho come through the youth, even though he was bought from Atletico, so not really technically the youth, I would say. These players are not good enough, and again, if they are going to be in the squad, if they're impact subs, then it is what it is. But in terms of the Chelsea interest, so I was talking to a friend today actually, and he's a Chelsea fan, and he was saying to me that Mudrik's ban is going to be rescinded. They reckon. So because I don't really know why Chelsea are looking at Garnacho. It doesn't make any sense to me. I can only think that they're looking to get him to flip him for more money. But for me, because I heard as well with Napoli, Conte's been on the phone to him, trying to encourage him to join. Again, how true that is, I don't know. For me, I know it's 3 days left, but I've just got a sneaky feeling because between Napoli and Chelsea, I think Napoli have had a bid that was rejected, and I think they're about from what I see on Sky Sports, there's like an evaluation of 8 million gap, which shouldn't be hard to bridge, if I'm honest. And obviously Chelsea have shown interest but haven't made a bid. Now, if Mudryk his ban gets rescinded, then again you would say that link with Garnacho might die. But the Napoli one for some reason, because Napoli now are on the verge of getting Alan Saint-Maximin from Saudi.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's more or less been agreed. So I'm looking at it now thinking, is he the Garnacho replacement? Because obviously he plays on the same side as where Garnacho would be playing.
Yeah.
Or is it a case where they've lost Kvaratskhelia and they want to get 2 players in to replace, and it might be Saint-Maximin and Garnacho? Who knows? But I think because I don't think until a bid has come in from Chelsea and another improved one from Napoli. I don't think we can rule it out, but I think it does look likely at the moment that nothing's happening. But on deadline day, you never know. It could be a bit of a scramble and some surprising some surprising transfers. So and I'm just hoping Garnacho does move on personally, because if he does stay, does that mean that because there's no guarantee that Rashford goes either, because that might scupper the MATHYS TEL deal as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But I think at the moment with Garnacho it's 50-50 for me, whether he leaves or whether he stays.
I agree, but I think Rashford is more like 80% that he goes.
Yeah. But the thing is, then again, with Rashford, it's the money, because how much are United going to be paying towards his wage if he does go on loan? If Rashford's one was a loan with an obligation to buy, then that'd be better. But I don't see that happening. So, but yeah, I think at the moment you would probably say he's more edging it in terms of who's looking likely to leave. The Casemiro one, I don't know what's happening. Casemiro, I mean, I think he might just stay because it's gone quiet on him as well. So yeah, I just think you have to wait and see, man. I'm hoping something breaks a bit later today, I think Sunday, I don't know what's going to happen Sunday. I think Sunday might be quiet, if I'm honest, because obviously United are playing as well.
Yeah.
You know, City, obviously Arsenal tomorrow. So I think it might be a bit quiet. I think tonight might be the time, and then obviously come down to Monday, it might be a mad scramble, but we'll have to wait and see, man. But
I don't know if there's enough time to get both of them out. This is what I'm saying, because obviously if you get Rashford out, yeah, you can probably get Tell in, but if you get Garnacho out, who can you bring in to replace him?
Yeah, but again, this is the thing with there might be talks going on behind the scenes that there might be things in place, but they're waiting to break it, and I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah. But I think that even if Garnacho and Rashford do go, if you get MATHYS TEL in, that's fine. But Kobbie Mainoo, as obviously as we know, can play should be playing as one of the left tens or the right tens. So that's kind of like a new player in a sense that can play in those positions. You know? You've got Toby Collier, obviously Bruno's there, which again he's a massive problem, but he ain't going to be going anywhere until the summer, you'd hope. You've got what's his name, Ugarte as well. So you've got players that can play in that position, you know. But I think playing Kobbie further forward and then getting MATHYS TEL in, and then you do get the likes of Rashford and Garnacho out of there. For me, I'm not too fussed with that. You know what I mean? I'm happy with that, if I'm honest, because I think getting those two out, I think, is crucial for the club to go forward, in my opinion, because these are two players that divide opinion a lot as well. You know?
Yeah.
And I think United need to move on from them two for sure, you know, and then look to be getting in better quality, especially in that side of the pitch. So that's what I think, man. But before we wrap, just want to get your thoughts on the obviously the Champions League knockouts, the tied around City and Real Madrid. What do you reckon?
It was always going to be them drawn together, wasn't it? To be honest,
you know what? Yeah, the way that's happened is mad. Like, is it set up? You reckon, or?
It wouldn't surprise me, because at the end of the day, it's all about money, innit? It's all about audience. But in terms of who will win, that is tough, because obviously the first leg is at City, and then the second one obviously is at Real Madrid. So to be honest with you, that's a good thing for Real Madrid, because even if they lose the first leg, they get to try and, you know, resurrect the tie at home. But I think it will be tight. I don't think either one's going to like win 2-3-0 or anything. I think it'll be like maybe a draw in the first, and then the odd goal wins it in the second leg. But I don't want City to win it. That's for sure, mate.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it'll be just like Man City, to go on and win it, like after the season they've had so far. But obviously, as we know, man, Real Madrid, when it comes to Champions League football, man, they just turn up. You know, it's just it's rightfully their tournament, as they say. You know, but I think what's going to be key for Man City, especially, and I suppose you can say Real Madrid as well, but I think Real Madrid are probably in a more comfortable position, because again, if City win tomorrow against Arsenal, they're only 3 points behind them in second, and obviously they'll be in they'll be fourth still, actually, if they win tomorrow, because Nottingham Forest battered Brighton today 7-0. So I think this game is going to be key in comparison to how well City are doing in the league. So I think if City are in touching distance, you know, because obviously anything can happen, of getting back onto Liverpool's coattails, then it'd be interesting to see if he's going to rest players in the league game to prepare for this Champions League game, you know. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. But my prediction for City Real Madrid, I don't know. Is it 2 legs? It is 2 legs, isn't it?
Yeah. City ground.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's tough, because I haven't really been impressed with Real Madrid this season. I know they're top of the league at the moment, but the way Liverpool dismantled them in that Champions League game,
True.
it was concerning. But then again, Man City haven't been convincing either. But I'd possibly say, because it's Champions League, I think you have to look at Real Madrid, and especially the second leg being at the Bernabeu as well.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you have to kind of say that City are gonna. I mean, that Real Madrid should get over the line. You know.
You mentioned Liverpool. They'll be well happy that Man City are playing Real Madrid, because obviously it means one of the favourites is going to get knocked out.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But I think for sure, it's going to be a good Champions League. I think, because I think, I mean, people will say Liverpool will be the outright winners at the moment. But I've got a feeling for Inter Milan. I don't know why, but I think Inter Milan are going to shock someone, because they're, I think at the back they're solid, and they've got goals in the front line as well. So whoever plays them, I think, are going to have a tough time. And, you know, I know Lautaro got a hat-trick last game as well. But, yeah, I think it's going to be... I mean, you'd probably say if whoever wins out of Real Madrid, Man City should go on, and if they avoid some of the other teams like Inter or Liverpool, they should make the final. But it's gonna be difficult for. I think it'd be difficult for Man City for me to win this. I think Man City haven't been the same. Obviously, there's no Rodri. You know, I know they've bought a couple of players in the summer and in the January window.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's. I don't think it'll be their season, man. And I think a lot of it's going to depend on what they do in this league, because I think they're still trying to go for this league title. You know, obviously it's Liverpool's to lose, really, for me. But
Yeah.
if they can, because Liverpool are playing Bournemouth today, and if Liverpool don't beat Bournemouth and City happen to beat Arsenal, you know, that's another 3 points they've gained back on the early season form, really. So, yeah, my prediction will be based on how they do in the league. I think if the league's too far gone, but they can comfortably get in top 4, then I think they might focus on Champions League. But I think as it stands, I think Real Madrid probably win this tie, if I'm honest.
What about Arsenal tomorrow? Any thoughts on that?
You know what? I think City win the game, you know?
Yeah, I do.
I think they win the game, because I was saying as well in one of my streams, I said that City are the one team in this league that can just reel off 10 games straight. And I think this is their time now. I think the game against Brentford, where they drew, they for me they actually should have won that game. But I think the way they put Ipswich away, obviously they beat Chelsea last week. I think they're going to go on a little run, you know. And before you know it, they're putting like 3 or 4 games away in a row. Yeah. They're going to be climbing that table, because as bad as they've been, if they beat Arsenal tomorrow, they're 3 points behind them, and Arsenal still got to play Liverpool. You know, so someone's going to drop points there. Arsenal have to go to Nottingham Forest as well. They got United to play, and I think a lot of City's tough games, I think I think they're due in this running. So Chelsea, Arsenal, I think they got Newcastle next week. You know, so I think they can actually get back up there, if I'm honest. You know, and my prediction for me is that City finish above Arsenal in this league as well.
Wouldn't surprise me, mate, because we know about Arsenal's mentality. When push comes to shove, they crumble more often than not, mate.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, but yeah, we'll be here to see that, and but obviously our focus is Man United, so we hope that Man United can kind of you know, not get back in any top 4, top 6 race, because that's gone for me. But hopefully that they can try and put some form together. But most importantly, win the Europa League and get back into the Champions League. That's the key. Yeah. Just Nick. I'm just gonna go on Nick Fadley's comment before we wrap. So he reckons between Liverpool, Barca, or Inter. You know what? I love Barca as a team. Obviously, from the days of even back in the day, man, when they had players like Rivaldo and Saviola and Patrick Kluivert, Romario. You know, they've had so many bad boys, and then obviously Ronaldinho, Messi, Eto'o, Henry, Iniesta, Busquets, Xavi. You know, Puyol, Piqué. They've had some real Neymar. They've had some real players, and for me, the concerning thing for me was when they played against Benfica. I know they beat Benfica in the end. I think it was 5-4, but to concede 4 goals is a concern, especially if they play against the better teams. So I would love Barca to win it, if I'm honest. But again, I think if they meet one of them Liverpools or Inters or something like that, I'm not sure if they can hold out for that. But it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. So, but yeah, man, you got anything to say before we wrap?
Yeah, just nice to chat to you at last. It's been a good one. It's nice speaking to someone who's got knowledge and like I said, who isn't here just to clickbait, because unfortunately Man United has a massive audience, and a lot of people use that audience to make money, and that's not what I'm here for, and I'm sure that's not what you're here for. But yeah, with United at the moment, just need to be patient. We've been in a bad state because we've had the Glazers like doing just stupidities every year. And now we finally got some football structure. But anyone who thinks that we're going to be able to resolve this just like that, then you're deluded. It's going to take time. But the main thing is we can see signs of progress now in terms of the players we're bringing in, the players we're getting rid of. And yeah, I'm positive about it. Yes, I know a lot of people, I just want to hate them constantly, but I'm positive about them until they prove otherwise. I like the direction we're going. I like the fact that we've got Amorim. I hope he gets the opportunity to win this Europa League, and then that's the basis to then carry on and get even better in the league. And yeah, I just see positivity at the moment, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, fingers crossed, man. That's what I would say. But I do believe I do believe Man United will be back. I think we have to believe it. I think there's no other option really. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, man, I think we have to just be patient, man, as you said. But man, likewise, man. Like it's good for you to come on. Again, I like to have dialogue. And obviously you're someone as well that you got good knowledge as well from what you've been saying. And again, in this space, a lot of people, from what I've seen, don't really have a lot of good dialogue, in my opinion. I think a lot of it is just talking for talking's sake, from what I've seen. And again, a lot of people that I like to watch on this space, i.e. Rants and Bants, Flawless, like Lee Gunner. A lot of these guys are, for me, they talk the truth, and it's like a no holds barred, just say what they've got to say and believe in what they say. And that's kind of like how I see it as well. And again, I've got experience in playing and watching football for several years. So a lot of my opinions and that come from that, and yeah, it's good to have dialogue, man, with different people, and again, we're not here to agree on points. It's kind of like to have your say, and what I mean, even if you don't come to common ground, it's good to kind of get your opinion out, and again, just say what you believe, man. That's what it comes down to. So yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on for real, man. I think you've got a couple of questions on there. Just I think you might have answered it back actually. Where is it? Oh yeah, the Edgar Davids. Yeah, I see that as well, man. Yeah, Edgar Davids. I mean, what a player he was. You know what I mean?
I would have loved him at Man United, man.
Yeah, they don't make players like that no more. I think the closest player to him, I think, in terms of looks as well, is probably Camavinga. Yeah, top player Camavinga, man. But yeah, Edgar Davids, man, what a player he was. Was it Juventus, Barcelona, Tottenham?
AC Milan as well.
AC Milan as well. Yeah, yeah,
Basically, him and Seedorf,
yeah,
just basically played for all the best teams in the world, and it just shows you that's because they was that good. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. Obviously, all coming through the Ajax system as well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah, so many players come through there, man. But yeah, he was a top player, Edgar Davids, man. Left-footed as well.
yeah,
Yeah, he was a top player. I think he went to, was it Barnet as well as
yeah.
player manager?
Right at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, player. That's mad. Edgar
Yeah,
Davids playing for Barnet. You know,
after being
that
at
is crazy.
Barcelona.
Yeah, but yeah, good career though, man. That's what you can say. You know what I mean, not many players can say they've had a career like Davids, man. So yeah, congratulations to him, man. But yeah, guys, man, safe for coming on. Big up Nick Fadley for the comments as well. Guys, as I said, man, make sure you smash that like button, help the channel out, subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In, and also, man, subscribe to Elite Baller, which is at Elite Baller 2050. How many subs you on your channel?
One sec, I can't remember. I think it's only 261. Not too many, mate. 261.
Okay. Yeah, but listen, just keep building, man. You know, obviously, if you love what you're doing, talking about football, man, then just stick with it, man. I mean, as you know, man, you are going to get days where you think, oh, I can't be bothered, or it's not happening. But again, this is the grind that needs to be done, man. And you know what I mean? You'll be looking back when it does take off at the work you've been putting in, man. So yeah, just stay positive with it, man. That's all I would say. You know, it's not easy, but just got to remain positive. So
I appreciate that, and like I said to you last week, I'll definitely help you get your channel seen. When you end this, I'll just have a quick chat with you for 5 minutes because I've got some ideas for you, bro.
Yeah, that's cool, man. No worries. That's cool. But yeah, guys, man, make sure you subscribe to Elite Baller, man. Give him some love, man, and help grow his channel as well. He's also on Twitter as well, so yeah, make sure you sub to him, man. But yeah, Nick, man, big up for coming on. Again, always coming on, giving us some support, man. We love it. But yeah, me and Elite Baller, we're gonna be back. We're gonna sort out another time. Hopefully next week sometime if he's free. And yeah, man, hopefully within this time, United have made some moves, whether it's incomings or outgoings, and we can kind of look forward to the rest of the season and see what happens, man. But yeah, man, big up for coming on. And Elite Baller, man, I'm gonna catch you in a bit.
No worries.
Yeah.